I thought I'd share a few helpful tips when making your own kefir, and if there's anything that I haven't covered that you'd like to see, just leave that in the comments. Here I'm actually waking up my greens, which have been in the fridge for a few days since we had extra kefir on hand. This is done simply by taking it out of the old milk, straining the greens well, and placing them in some fresh milk. You don't have to waste the milk that it rested in, as it can be used like a thinner kefir in many recipes. I actually just add a little liquid stevia and enjoy. Today I'm using store-bought full-fat milk, but occasionally I'll also use raw milk that I get from the farmer's market. I give the greens a little stir and get them ready to sit overnight on the cabinet where they will rest and have a chance to ferment. I typically have different ferments going at different times, and it was suggested to keep them separate, but I haven't really had any issues with them on different counter spots in my kitchen. I've found the best ratios are 1 to 2 teaspoons of grains to 1 cup of milk. I either give away extra grains or add them to a smoothie. They also make a great treat for our pets. It's the next morning, and I'm going to give them a little stir. It looks thick at first, but that blends really easily. After giving them a good mix, I will strain them. This way I can get the grains much easier and put them back into the jar to begin the process again. You'll also find the grains do grow pretty rapidly, which is really awesome to watch. But there's many ways to use up the grains or to gift them to other people interested in making their own kefir. Personally, the taste is still a bit strong for me, so I typically will find ways to make it into a delicious shake or use my kefir in recipes like kefir pudding or a savory ranch dressing. The grains feel gummy, almost like a little multivitamin, and they are very resilient, so it's very hard to mess up the process when making your own kefir. Kefir is one of the most powerful probiotic foods you can add to your diet. It's packed with good bacteria and yeast that support gut health and digestion, making it a natural way to improve your overall wellness. Not only does it boost immunity by balancing your microbiome, but it's also rich in calcium, magnesium, and vitamin K2, great for strong bones. For this recipe, I'm using some fresh blueberries. Actually, these were some I froze that I had left over from my last visit to the farmer's market. Another note about kefir is if you're lactose insensitive, this may be a good option since the fermentation process breaks down most of the lactose. Next, I'm adding about 10 drops of liquid stevia, which just helps sweeten my shake, and I did also get this from Thrive Market. There's no affiliation with me in Thrive Market. I happen to just live in a small town, and their company makes it convenient to get my hands on quality ingredients. I'm also adding in just a scoop of collagen peptides, also from Thrive Market. And while it's not necessary to add in additional supplements, I did want to give this a try, and it tasted really good with the shake. You don't need to add in extra supplements, but I really liked the clean ingredients and the extra probiotics, so I thought I would give this a try. The strawberry lemonade flavor worked really well with the blueberries. Also, you don't actually have to mix it since you will blend it next, but I like to do that because I feel it gives it a better consistency. Kefir has become part of my morning since it's loaded with nutrients and shows to help reduce inflammation in the body. Whether having it plain or in a smoothie, it's a great source of nourishment. I've since gotten a replacement, but at this time I did not have a blender. Luckily, I have my immersion blender for cases just like this, and it worked just as well. I actually find the process of making myself a smoothie in the morning, especially one so nutritious, really calming, and just a really great way to start off my morning on a really positive note. This particular smoothie was really delicious and definitely very satisfying. I'll usually make something else with it, so it's not my complete breakfast. And there are a ton of different ways to use kefir and make delicious shakes. Let me show you some other things I use. I always have peanut butter on hand, so it's one of my favorite things to add to my shakes. Since I do a lot of baking, I always have cocoa on hand. Again, I did get this from Thrive Market, and it's low in carbohydrates, so I'm particularly fond of this brand. I also keep powdered peanut butter on hand. It's just something great to have in the pantry, so I can use this as well. And again, there's multiple ways to make your shakes, so find a flavor that works for you and enjoy your delicious, healthy kefir shakes.